YouTube. I'm just finishing off the final few little buttons here to create the live stream on all the other different platforms. Just popping that up on my Apple TV. And I'll come back into here and I will click go live. There we are. All right. Good morning and welcome. Today it is Saturday. It's a little wet and dreary here in my hometown. So it's not that exciting at the moment. Let me just hit go live there. All right. I think all the buttons are pressed now. And I'm a couple of minutes early. Okay, that's all right. So make your way into your version of a comfortable seat, whether that's cross legs or you're on your shins. And once you do that, just arrive, placing your hands on your knees or somewhere on your thighs, closing down your eyes and just beginning to cultivate some deep, steady breaths in and out through the nose. And just recognize how the inhale can allow for length along the spine with the buoyancy of the breath in the lungs and the expansion and the lift. And then with the exhale breath, you feel the grounding nature of the breath, that really settling element, that releasing element, that letting go. So just notice how those two Vayus arrive. So we have the Prana Vayu on the way in and the Apana Vayu on the way out. From the fabric of your skin through the contours of your muscles and into the web of your nerves, recognize how you've arrived. Feel into the subtle body. Feel the pulsation of electricity in the nervous system, the flow of fluids and blood in the systems of the body. And from this stillness that is the comfortable seat, we realize that there's movement on that internal dimension. So the macrocosm that exists outside of our body, the universe and all of the things happening. We find stillness in our seat, and on the microcosm within us, the movement is just as profound within the universe of the mind, of the subtle body. And the thing that connects it all is the breath. The inhale draws from the universe the vitality, the abundance, and then the exhale breath returns that back to the universe. And bringing your hands into heart center, Namaskar Mudra, chin to chest. Take a moment to thank yourself for getting on the mat, to thank yourself for setting aside these valuable few moments in your day to synchronize your body, your breath, and movement. Start to rub the hands together and ignite your inner fire, your Agni. Feel the heat generated across the palms as you rub them with a bit of speed and pace. And then place the hands over the eyes and take a moment just to absorb the nourishment and the nutrient of that warmth. And peel the hands away from the eyes and arrive in your space. Take your left hand down onto your left knee, Nadi Shodhana breath here. Take your peace fingers to the third eye. Close the right nostril with your thumb and inhale through the left. Close the left nostril, open the right, and with a pump at the belly button, exhale through the right. Reclose the right, re-inhale the left. Reclose the left, reopen the right, exhale. Close the right, open the left, inhale. Close the left, open the right, exhale. So now you move with a little bit of pace. Open both nostrils, breathe normally. And now alternate that breath. So open the right nostril, inhale, close the left. Close the right, open the left, exhale. Close the left, reopen the right, inhale. Close the right, reopen the left, exhale. Close the left, reopen the right, inhale. And open the left, exhale. Now go through that on this side. Lower the right hand down onto your knee. Lift the chin and the chest. Open the throat. Hold the hands on the knees. Extend through the spine. Exhale, chin to chest. Dome through the back. Belly button in. So inhale. Lift the chin. Open the throat. Extend the spine. Wake up the length of the body at the back. And exhale, chin to chest. 2 more like that. Another deep round like that. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, arms up, lift up, reach up. Twist around to the left, right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. Rotate with the exhale. Come slightly back to center on the inhale and retwist on the exhale breath. So you just slightly return on the inhale and then you twist again on the exhale breath. Return to center with the right arm out in front of you. Cross the left arm over the top. Hold the forearms in the hands. Lift the elbows to shoulder height. Press the forearms to the ceiling in front of you and press the space between the shoulder blades to the wall behind you. So you're getting this beautiful push-pull through the whole area of the body that gets stiff and tight because we spend so long typing all day. Holding here, continuing to breathe and feeling the length down the spine. And then uncross, unravel, release. Inhale, lift up, reach up and rise up. And then twist around to the right. Exhale, breath. So left hand, right knee to help leverage your torso around. Then you come slightly back to center and you retwist around to the right. Exhale. You come slightly back to center and then you twist once more. Exhale, breath. And as you come back to center, keep the left arm out in front. Cross right elbow over top. Bind it all up. Hold the hands, lift the elbows to shoulder height, press them up towards the ceiling. Feel that space between the shoulder blades particularly. Widen that there. Get that lovely energetic spread of the tissues between the shoulder blades. Holding for another breath. Nice. And then as you release all that, let that go and shift forward onto your all fours tabletop position and start to cow and cat the spine. So as the shoulders arrive over the wrists and the hips over the knees, tilt the tailbone up, inhale, look up, open the throat, and then exhale, press away from the earth, dome the back, belly button in into your cat. So inhale is cow, and then exhale is cat. Inhale is cow, and exhale is cat. Close down your eyes and start to move naturally and organically through this beautiful extension and flexion of your spine, allowing the energy of the spine to be hydrated, to flow freely. Start to turn this into creative cat, where you start to move in a way that feels really natural and playful and organic. Taking a few moments just to Self-inquire into those areas that might feel a little sticky. Waking up the body, waking up the joints, waking up the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the neck, the hips, the ankles, the knees. Come back into your tabletop position, all fours. Nice and stable here. Press away from the earth. Lift the thumbs, lift the palms. Shift forward onto 4 fingers of each. Hands hinged at your first row of knuckles. Lift and lower the palms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Palms down, thumbs down. Sway your head and upper body from left to right. Tuning into the shoulders. Place your hands, a whole handprint further down your mat away from you. Tuck your toes and send your hips back towards your heels, and then lift the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. So feel that row of knuckles. Feel the nice neutrality in the wrists. Engagement in the elbows, but lots of strength in your shoulders. Feel the hammock of the armpits and the hollow there you've created. Tone the abdominals in and up and lift the hips up. So lots of length from the wrists to the hips. Bend the knees generously and have high heels at the moment as you've got tighter hamstrings because you've just started class. Head is heavy, neck is long, and you look back at your big toes. Pedal the feet, windscreen wiper the heels, take a few breaths here and just moving into the backs of the legs, the hollows of the knees, the calves and the ankles. And then we'll find a little bit of stillness. And definitely a lot of breath. On your next inhale, prepare your body, and with your exhale breath, walk forward to the top of your mat. Take your time. Upon arrival, feet are hip width, bend the knees generously and hold the elbows, ragdoll. Hang the body off the hips, let the head hang heavy, let the neck feel long. Tumble out any unwanted thoughts, negative memories, emotions that might be just stuck in the mind at the moment. Just take that opportunity to let them fall out the top of your skull. And just allow the body to stretch here. Just getting all of that sensation down the spine, down the backs of the legs. And then dangle the hands towards the earth, chin to chest. Start to roll up, vertebra by vertebra, bone by bone. Making your way into a standing position, your mountain pose. Arms beside the body. Standing here with that stability like a mountain, like the beautiful big Himalayas on the horizon in India. So strong and stable, powerful. Evoke that in your body now. Feel into the lift in the crown of the head and the firm foundation on the mat. Big deep breaths. Palms to touch at the heart space, chin to chest. Feel free to set an intention for your Saturday if you're working with one, or practice a few moments of deep breaths. On your next inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead to the ceiling. Big breath in, and then exhale, return to the earth as you hinge at the hips and fold. Halfway lift, hands on shins. Inhale, breath, crown head forward, belly button in. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to your high plank. So long and strong in your high plank. Tune into how you've created the same expression in Tadasana, your mountain pose, as you have here in your plank pose. Broaden across the upper back. Draw the belly button in. Press away from the earth and recruit your shoulders nice and strong. Holding for 3, for 2. On your exhale breath, lower the knees down onto the mat. Cross the ankles behind you. Draw the heels to the buttocks. Shift the weight forward so you've got long length along the spine. And then bend the elbows lower halfway down. Exhale. Press back up. Inhale. And lower halfway down. Exhale. Do 3 more like this. As you press back up, uncross the feet, tops of the feet on the mat. Exhale breath, chest and chin, slowly lower down into your cobra. Inhale breath, slide the hands back underneath your shoulders, elbows point back, and lift the chest a little. Now, as you exhale, release that, tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, look over your right shoulder, lift the right leg at the same time. Exhale, come back through your center, lower the foot. Inhale, look over your left shoulder, lift the left leg. Exhale, breath through the center. Inhale, peek over right shoulder, lift right leg. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale, look over left shoulder, lift left leg. And 2 more. Nice work. Pressing back to your tabletop position and pause there for a moment. We'll continue that spinal balance series by sitting back on our heels now. And then on the inhale, come to your tabletop and extend right arm, left leg long. And then exhale breath, fist the right hand, tap elbow, knee under body, dome the back. Return hand and knee to mat and sit back on heels. Inhale lifts you up, left arm, right leg this time, and then exhale breath, tap in and under the body, return hand and knee and sit back on heels. Inhale, lift, right arm, left leg. Exhale, tap under body, dome back, return hand, knee, sit back down on heels. Inhale shifts you forward, left arm, right leg long. Exhale, tap in and under the body, and then you return hand and knee and you sit back on heels. 1 more each side. Inhale, length. Exhale, contract. Sit back on heels. Inhale, lift for length. Exhale, contract. Sit back on heels. Nice. Come through to tabletop. Place your hands another handprint further away from you. Tuck your toes and hips back to heels. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Feel into that expression we created earlier. Lots of engagement through that row of knuckles. And maybe now the legs start to lengthen. Belly button draws in. Hips lift. Head heavy, neck long, chest to thighs. Another deep breath here. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up to the ceiling and then yawn the hip open, heel to opposite buttock, pressing your chest towards the left thigh. See if you can ground the left foot and square your shoulders in the same expression. So firm through the knuckles on the mat. Right foot steps to right pinky finger at the top of your mat. See if you can maneuver the foot forward if you can't make it all the way. Plant the back foot 45-degree angle and then walk your hands off your mat to the left side. So pinky fingers pressing down, all of the finger pads on the mat. Front foot's 12 o'clock, back foot 45. Holding here, front knee over front ankle. Ground the front heel. Walk the hands back to your front foot. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Hands come to your front thigh first, and then lift the arms up, reach up and rise up. Hold your left wrist, hand, and bend to the right. Get that stretch from the left knee all the way along the left arm, feeling a little peek under the left armpit with the eyes as you look to the left. Sweep the hands down to frame your front foot and then take your back knee down the mat and lengthen your front leg out. So you're feeling into that lovely stretch along the back of the hamstrings now. See if you can draw the hip bone back into the socket and allowing that length to organically stretch along the posterior chain of the front leg, your right leg, coming forward into your front foot and then pivot back and forth until you come into a pyramid pose. So high on the ball of the back foot, right thumb into your right hip crease, press it back and start to fold over your front thigh now. Belly button in, head heavy, neck long, finger pads framing that front foot. Another deep breath here. And start to pivot, start to bounce here a little back and forth and then step forward into your yogi squat. So step the feet nice and wide and then bring the hands to prayer at the heart space. Proud the chest, lift the hips and press the elbows into the knees back into the elbows. And holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. Plant the hands, fold into an uttanasana. So pivot the feet now to be parallel with the long edges of your mat. Hang the head heavy, neck long. Sweep the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And press the hands towards the wall behind you. Behind your head. Holding for 2. And for 1. Release on the exhale, halfway lift on the inhale. Shuffle the left foot a little wider and then step the right foot all the way back. Pivot onto the 45-degree angle of that back foot. And then walk your hands over to the right. So stay on the finger pads. Head heavy. Look underneath the thighs. So your front foot should still be 12 o'clock. That back foot's just that 45-degree angle. Walk the hands back to the top of your mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot and gently lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Walk your hands onto that front thigh. Hold there for your lunge position. And then sweep up overhead. This time you'll hold your right wrist. You'll lift up and you'll bend over to the left. Peek under the right armpit. As the arms reach up to the ceiling, the inhale takes you to the sky, and then the exhale frames the front foot. You take that back knee down the mat away from you, and then you let that front leg lengthen out. You could even just have a little slide forward here, seeing that expression of drawing the thigh bone back into the hip socket, toning the abdominals, lengthening along the spine. Holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. So start to slide the front foot forward towards you, pivoting, shifting, switching until you make your way into your pyramid pose. So high on the ball of the back foot. Left thumb hooks into left hip crease. You start to fold over the thigh at the front leg there and hang the head heavy, neck is long. And step the front back foot forward to your forward fold at the top of the mat. This time take your peace fingers around your big toes, seal off the grip with the thumbs. Halfway lift with the inhale and then bend the elbows and lower, fold forward, exhale, breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold again. Inhale up to the sky, reach, rise together, and then we'll come back through our heart center and just reconnect, recenter here for a breath or two. And then on the inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead. Exhale, return to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands and step back, high plank. Hold the plank. Knees, chest, chin is the cobra and move through to cobra position. Feel the spinal extension now. You've probably got much more space after all of that warm up. Coming back through to your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right leg lift to the ceiling, and exhale, right foot to right thumb. Lower left knee down, untuck left toes. Inhale, reach up and rise up to the ceiling with the fingers. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward with the back foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sky. Exhale, earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back, right knee lowers, untuck right toes. Inhale, sweep up. Hands to the ceiling. Exhale, frame the front foot as you lower the hands down. Step back to high plank. Lower knees, chest and chin, and then slither through to cobra. Inhale, breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press the hips back and then lift them to the sky. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Lower your right knee down. Untuck right toes. Inhale, sky. Exhale, frame. Step forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sky. Exhale, earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Left knee lowers. Untuck left toes. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, frame. Step back to high plank. Knees, chest, chin. Exhale. Your back bend. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. One more deep breath. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Sweep your fingertips down and along the mat, and then sit deep into that imaginary seat. Focus on the horizon with your drishti focus. Find that point to stare at as we sit a little deeper and we cultivate that inner fire, Agni, at Manipura chakra. Feel into the solar plexus as the breath ignites the flames. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back or hop back to high plank, low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Now, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Left leg lift, inhale, lift the heel, bend the knees, yawn the hip open. And if you want to land in a flip dog, continue to rotate around, reach the left hand overhead and arch the body. Left hand lowers, left foot steps forward to your front hand. Plant the back foot 45. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, rise up. Take a moment here just to settle. We're moving vibrantly and with vitality here, so just aware of the breath and the quality of the breath. Take the take the left arm down to the right rib cage and square the chest to the front of the room. Extend the left arm out, cross the right elbow over top, bind up the arms, lift the hands, press into that front heel, and then humble warrior. Left shoulder to left knee, chin to chest, holding here for 3. Ungrip your toes, feel into the even spread of the weight across the 4 corners of the foot. Release the hands, windmill the right hand up and arrive in Warrior 2 as you lunge into front knee. Shuffle the back foot parallel short edge of mat, front foot points forward at 12 o'clock, holding for 3. Soften the shoulders, feel into the expression of how the hands are an extension of the heart space. Take the left hand as though you're about to shake someone's hand out in front of you, and then draw the fingers in. Find a focus on that left thumb. Sweep the right hand forward and draw your bow back as you find your way into Arjuna. With an inhale, you prepare, and then the exhale out the nose is a pump at the navel center and a lunge into the front knee. So it's like... Then release that arrow off onto the horizon and bring your hands through to your heart center, elbows wide. Left foot comes with you as you shuffle the feet parallel short edges of your mat. Hands on your hips, proud the chest, inhale, and then fold at the hips and lower the head down, exhale, breath. Now stay here in your wide leg fold for a few breaths. Hands under face, halfway lift, big extension of the spine, and then toe heel the feet into a warrior stance. As you bring your hands onto your hips, start to bend into the knees and find your way into goddess. Make it a strong, powerful goddess warrior. As you sit down into that seat, cactus the arms and spread the fingers wide. Take a moment as you retract your shoulder blades to draw the breath in, and then with your exhale breath, bring the hands towards the center, but pretend as though they're 2 opposing magnets. They don't want to come to touch. So we re-inhale on 2 parts and bring the hands into fists, and then we exhale to the center. Inhale. One more big breath in, retract shoulder blades, open the heart. Exhale, hands come towards the center. Then stand long in your legs, hands at the fronts of your thighs. And just absorb how those warrior breaths unfold in your body. They're really cultivating of a sense of heat in the lower chakras. You really feel into the root chakra there. And that cultivation of the breath in the lungs fires up Manipura. Hands on the hips, hinge forward a little and dangle the arms towards the earth. 2-part inhale now. So one part brings the elbows towards the hips and the hands into fists. The second part of the inhale takes the arms up, reaches up. And then the exhale breath is the same position back here. Shh. And then the fourth exhale is out through the mouth and across the floor as you release unwanted negativity. So inhale, one part positivity in. Second inhale extends the arms up. The third part is the exhale that draws the elbows back towards the side body. And then the fourth part, exhale, releases negativity. So one part, 2 parts, one part, one part. Inhale, exhale. Coordination. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Positivity. Exhale. Negativity. Hands at the fronts of your thighs. Stand tall, tone the abdominals in and up, and just integrate and absorb that expression. It's a beautiful kriya of the Kundalini technique that allows you to move in the direction of more, to shift the negativity and flow in that abundant state that the Kundalini practice suggests. Let's take a moment to sweep the hands up into flying warrior. Inhale. And back to warrior 2 at the top of your mat. Exhale, breath. Flip it in reverse. Inhale, breath. Left hand up to the ceiling. Extended side angle. Left elbow lands on your thigh. Right arm reaches overhead. From pinky toe edge of right foot all the way through to your fingertips. You've got all this beautiful length. Then finding our way into that dynamic shape, that fundamental yoga pose, our triangle. So left hand on left shin, right hand to ceiling. Got all the length. Feel into it. Nice deep breaths. And then right hand down right thigh, left hand up to ceiling. Inhale. Windmill hands down, frame the front foot, open twist, right hand earth, left hand sky. Rotating around to Cleopatra if you know where you're going there, reaching back, looking back, left hand lowers, left foot steps back. High plank, low plank, inhale, up dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths there. I'll meet you there. I'm just switching around on the mat. Tune into the vibrancy and the vitality of the breath at the moment and how fundamentally that can shift our state of minds. It shifts away the negativity and it creates so much joy and abundance as we move with our body and our breath. Let's continue now by lifting the right leg to the ceiling. Inhale. If you want to yawn the hip open, feel free. If you like to land in a flip dog, do so. Arch away from the earth. Right hand lowers to the mat, right foot steps forward to right thumb, back foot 45. We start to rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. Focus on the horizon. Feel into that front heel. Ground it. Ungrip your toes, right? Right hand reaches over to the left ribs and helps square the chest to the front of the room. Right arm goes out to front of room, left elbow over top. Bind it up. Lift the forearms up to the ceiling, and then humbleness bows you forward. Right shoulder to right knee, chin to chest. See if you can broaden the space between the upper back and get a beautiful stretch into the shoulders, the rotator cuff. Deep breaths. As you release the hands, the left hand windmills up into Virabhadrasana 2. And if you feel free, like hands on hips can help shuffle the feet. Front foot is 12 o'clock, back foot is parallel. Apana Vayu is the grounding element of the downward current there. And the Prana Vayu is the extension through the fingertips, that expansion. As though you're going to shake somebody's hand. Find that right hand reaching forward, then bring the fingers in. Thumb is your engagement point, your focus point. Big breath takes your left hand forward, draws the bow back. Elbow draws back behind you. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale through the nostrils. Get ready to release that arrow and smash through those limiting beliefs on the horizon as it flies out in the direction of more. Hands come to the heart, and just take a moment to integrate how Arjuna arrives in this beautiful chariot at the center of the incredible battle, and that battle is similar to that which is in our mind, good versus evil. All of the things that come up in our mind, similar to that that he found on the battlefield in Kurukshetra. Rotate the toes so the feet are parallel, hands on the hips, proud the chest, inhale breath, and then exhale breath finds the fold forward, dangles the head, chin to chest. Toe heel the feet in a little closer this time to about the width of your mat. Yeah, so I know you're on the long edge of the mat, but just get that same sort of width as the mat. And this time, as we start to peel up, take the arms out in front of you for one part inhale there. And then the second part inhale takes the arms out wide. And then the third part inhale takes them up to the ceiling. And then the fourth is this beautiful releasing breath as you bend the knees and you sweep the arms back beside the body and you let go of negative, unwanted crap and fatigue, right? So abundance, joy, and happiness takes the hands out in front. Inhale one part, continues that journey out wide on the second part. Up to the ceiling is the third part. And then that fourth part is letting go. So let's go. Two more. Last one. Hands in front of your thighs. Just integrate and absorb that. Recognize how beautiful when you coordinate that abundance and the freedom of the inhale breath. And you know, we regurgitate the same amount of rubbish every day through the mind. So getting that opportunity to bend the knees and sweep it away, so beneficial for you. Let's take the hands overhead, inhale, flying warrior, and just step the feet a little wider there, and then warrior two, back to the right foot. Bending into the right knee. Flip the right hand to the ceiling, inhale, reverse your warrior, and then right elbow lands on your thigh, left arm extends overhead for your extended side angle. Feel from the pinky toe to fingertips. Get that length and extension. Notice how that length allows you to lift away from the underside thigh, and you don't just slouch here. And then we'll find our way into triangle. Right hand on our right shin. Left hand peels to the ceiling. Another deep breath. And then left hand slides down the left thigh, right hand up to the ceiling, reverse the triangle, windmill the hands down, frame your front foot, open twist, right hand to the ceiling, rotating around onto pinky toe edges, reaching back, right hand earth, right foot back, high plank, low plank, exhale, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Feels good, right? To move the body, to coordinate and synchronize. Right leg lifts, right knee to right wrist, setting up for half pigeon. Peeking over left shoulder, running left foot down back behind us, but keep the toes tucked. Let's really sensationalize the right thigh here by placing your left hand onto the right foot in front of you, and the right hand one hand print further forward than your knee. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and start to lift the right knee into your right armpit. Lower the knee down to a hover, and then lift it. Lower, lift it. Lower, lift it. Lower, lift it. Lower, lift it. Now lower it all the way down. Untuck the back toes. Preferably have a block or a prop underneath your right hip to elevate the pelvis and allow for a little bit of a back bend with that beautiful extension, and then lower down onto your forearms. And let's stay in half pigeon for a few breaths. And just begin to draw the breath in and out through the nose with longer, steadier, smoother expressions of the breath. Maybe a little smoother and longer than I am. I'm still recovering from another bout of a cold that I've managed to get, and also talking and moving means that you get a little breathless. Very nice work. As your hands come back onto the mat, remove the prop from underneath your right hip, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, step the right foot back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, and just take a moment. I don't like the concept of comparison that much, but here in this moment, just feel into that comparison between one leg and the other, and notice the rush of energy down that right leg, flushing out all the channels, freshening up the day for a beautiful day ahead. Freshening up the leg for a beautiful day ahead, I should say. Left knee to left wrist, shin on the mat, peek over right shoulder, right leg back, but right toes are tucked. Right hand presses into the left foot. Left hand, one full hand print further forward than the left knee. Tuck back toes, lift back knee, and then left knee rises to the left armpit, and you lower. Lift, lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, and lift. Now this time you'll lower down, untuck back toes, long back leg, toenails down, block or prop under the left hip, I beg your pardon. Lift the chest. And then slowly begin to lower down onto the forearms. As you start to walk the hands back and proud the chest in front of you, so you lift up and extend the spine. Remove prop from underneath left hip. Sit down on left hip. Swing right leg forward to the front of your room and find your way into a seated tree position. So the left knee is bent. The left foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Square your chest to your big toe of the right foot. Reach up to the ceiling. Inhale. And then lower the hands down and reach for the foot. If you can't reach for the foot, use a strap, or I've just grabbed a pair of socks that I had because it's a bit cool here this morning, holding onto them, a belt, whatever it is. If there's nothing like that, you can hold your shin or your ankle. Staying for a few moments here. See if you can square the shoulders behind you, so widen the upper back. And holding and feeling and breathing into the sensations you're creating down the back of the right leg. Maybe into the left hip and also the left inner groin. Left hand reaches up and overhead. We make our way to rock star. So you plant the hand, you come onto left knee, left shin, reach the arms overhead, right arm overhead, and tilt the head back. look behind you. Sit back down on the buttocks, hands behind you, lean back, switch it around. Left leg long, right foot in inner upper left thigh, square chest or big toe of left leg. Reach up and rise up, and then lower down. Nice work. Right hand up and overhead for our rock stars. It plants behind you, firm into that hand. Lift the belly button and the hips. Reach the left arm overhead. Arch through the back body. And then as you sit down onto your buttocks, look around and find your props to find a comfortable cross-leg position. Sukhasana or similar. We're nice and warmed up now, so how about we take some Kundalini practices to prepare for our day. Our shoulders are warm, our body is warm, our breath is strong, and our focus is on our movement in the direction of more. Cactus your arms, spread the fingers wide, twist to the right and recite out loud, Shiva. As you twist to the left, Shakti. So Shiva right, Shakti left. Shiva, Shakti, 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 Shiva, Shakti. Your eyes are open and they're following the horizon. You don't need to worry about the breath. Just let the mantra of Shiva and Shakti become all that is in your field of awareness. Shiva, Shakti, 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 Shiva. Next time you twist to the left, just come to a center point. Let the body just return through center, extending the arms out, reaching the arms long, and just absorbing that expression. So Shiva and Shakti, the beautiful dance of creation, preservation, and destruction, and that wonderful harmonization that our yoga tradition suggests of harmonizing all of those different elements, those polar opposites, whether we think of them as masculine and feminine, hot, cold, up, down, left, right, just taking that into balance, taking that into an expression of abundance. Let's cleanse our auric field before we head out into our Saturday. So in that 60-degree position, 3-part inhale comes into the side body, and then a 3-part exhale gets rid of the crap, fatigue, and nonsense that we carry around with ourselves. So forward. So inhale. Gather positivity in, exhale away negativity, stress, fatigue, all the things that keeps us sticky, keeps us small, keeps us in our lane. We want to find that lane to be our universe, right? We are not these tiny little things. We are these beautiful big expressions. So tune into it here. 3-part inhale, 3-part exhale. Cleanse your auric field. Joy, happiness, abundance in, exhale away stress, fatigue, negativity. Create the space for change, create the space for joy, happiness, self-care, self-love. Last one all together. Arms up, take a moment, feel the warmth that the Kundalini practice starts to cultivate in your legs as Shakti begins to rise, as that lovely energy of femininity rises through the chakras, lubricating them and preparing us for a wonderful day ahead. Lower the hands down onto your knees and take a moment now to tour inwards from the fabric of your skin through the contours of your muscles and into the web of your nerves. Just settle your body. Settle your breath. We're ending on a high note. We're ending on a vibrant note. We're ending on a note that reminds us that the fatigue of life, the dust that settles on our lens, is easily polished. Our Kriya yoga techniques, our Vinyasa yoga techniques, our movement, our coordination with our body and our breath creates the friction that rubs away that dust, that clarifies the lens, so that as you sit here now, you can recognize that beautiful internal lustrous gem shining, reminding you that the clarity that you wish to seek in our daily lives is available through the devotion and the regular practice of yoga. And they call it tapas, that fiery perseverance. Those days when you don't want to get on the mat can be the days that can really shift, can be sensational. One of them is for me today. I don't know how many times I changed the class time because I couldn't be bothered. I was like, no one comes anyway. And then I was like, who cares? It's your own practice. That's what you're doing here. You're just getting on the mat and keeping yourself accountable to no one other than yourself. And that was the tapas. And I intended to probably do 15 minutes, and I think I'm over 50. Because the practice takes you on a journey. And that journey is a reminder about what you learn about yourself along the way. The destination isn't so much the important aspect, it's the journey. Bring your hands into heart space, chin to chest, Namaskar Mudra. If you wish to seal your practice with an Om with me, feel free to join in. Inhale to prepare. Thumbs to third eye, chin to chest. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May you greet this beautiful version of yourself and the remainder of your day with the Hindi word Namaste. Thanks for your practice today, my friends. As always, it's TikTok that creates the love and vibrancy and energy for my classes. The American-owned platforms just require money to be spent to allow people to want to come and view. So as always, thank you to anyone on TikTok. I can always see a few of you up the top there, but unfortunately I'm all the way over here, so I don't get the chance to know what's been going on. But anyway, have a wonderful Saturday and enjoy. I'm off to do the job that actually pays for all of this stuff to be able to do all this and work for the day. But nonetheless, I feel great and I feel really energized and happy to have done that practice with you. So tomorrow morning I will do another class, and just keep your eyes on my schedule. I put them all up on the schedule. They're all on YouTube and Facebook as well. Bye everybody. See you later. Have a lovely day. Thanks for joining me.